Well, I don't think it has anything to do with education except undermining it. ChatGPT is basically high-tech plagiarism. It's a system that accesses an astronomical amount of data and finds regularities, strings them together, looks more or less like what somebody could have written on this topic. Basically plagiarism, just happens to be high-tech. Well, plagiarism can be a nuisance. Teachers, as in the universities, for example, and departments where essays are required, for years there have been programs that help professors detect plagiarized essays. Okay, now it's going to be more difficult because it's easier to plagiarize. But it's about the only contribution to education that I can think of, that it makes it harder to detect plagiarism. The systems have absolutely no value with regard to understanding anything about language or cognition. They tell you nothing about that any more than plagiarism does. And in fact, the more they improve, the greater their flaws, for a very simple reason. These are systems that do just as well for actual languages as they would do for impossible languages. So it's as if somebody produced a new version of the periodic table of the elements, which includes all the elements, all the possible elements, all the impossible elements, and doesn't make any distinction between them. It would be of absolutely no value to science or understanding. And that's basically what these systems are. They may have some value for something. It's not obvious. I mean, when I spent most of my life at MIT, it wouldn't happen there simply because the students wouldn't even think of doing it. They're interested in the topics, so they pursue the topics. A student learns nothing from this, of course, absolutely nothing. It's just a way of avoiding learning. And there are places where the way to deal with it is to make the educational program interesting enough so that students don't want to avoid it. This is a way of avoiding education.